Good morning and welcome to UroNurse News. Be sure to like and subscribe. Today we're looking at an important issue involving the world of cancer research, the integrity of scientific citations. Every day researchers publish studies that build upon previous discoveries. Now those published references or citations help scientists share knowledge, recognize important contributions, and measure the influence of research. But a new analysis is raising concerns that some citation patterns in cancer research may be artificially inflated, potentially affecting how journals, researchers, and scientific findings are evaluated. Now, this does not mean all cancer research is unreliable. The vast majority of researchers work diligently to advance science, but it does highlight why research transparency and careful evaluation of evidence are so important. So let's take a closer look. Scientific citations are the foundation of academic communication. When a researcher publishes a study, they reference previous work that helped shape their investigation. Done plenty of that myself. These citations provide credit, allow others to verify information, and help researchers understand how scientific knowledge evolves. Citations also influence important measurements in science. They can affect a researcher's reputation, a journal's impact ranking, and how scientific productivity is evaluated. However, because these scientific citations carry so much influence, there's a concern they could be potentially manipulated. Researchers and journals may face pressure to increase citation numbers because, higher citation counts are often associated with greater impact. The concern explored in this study is whether some citation networks may be artificially boosting the appearance of importance for certain publications. Researchers examined cancer-related scientific articles that shared characteristics with papers previously linked to paper mills. A paper mill is an organization that produces and sells fabricated or manipulated scientific manuscripts and publishing services. These organizations have been identified as a growing concern because they can introduce unreliable studies into scientific literature. In the analysis, researchers looked at molecular cancer articles that showed patterns similar to the suspected paper mill productions. They found citation patterns suggesting possible systematic inflation. Some suspected paper mill-related articles received significantly more citations than other papers published during the same period. The increase was estimated to be approximately 50 to 100% more citations 1 to 3 years after publication. However, researchers noted an interesting finding. These articles received more citations but appeared to have fewer readers and fewer online accesses compared to other publications. Now, concern is not simply about the numbers. Citation patterns influence how research is viewed and prioritized. The study found that suspected paper mill articles were more likely to cite and be cited by other suspected paper mill articles. This can create a network where unreliable garbage research appears more than influential than it actually is. Why does this matter? Because citation metrics are sometimes used to evaluate. Researchers seeking promotions, journals seeking prestige, and institutions measuring scientific productivity. If unreliable studies artificially increase citation numbers, they could distort the scientific landscape, making it harder for clinicians, researchers, and patients to identify which findings are truly supported by strong evidence. So, what should patients and healthcare professionals take away from this? First, this research does not mean we should distrust cancer science. Modern cancer care has benefited from decades of rigorous research leading to better screening, diagnostics, imaging, surgery, and treatments. The message is that science depends on continuous quality control. Researchers, journals, and institutions are working to improve methods for detecting questionable publications and developing better ways to evaluate research quality. For patients, the key message is a single study rarely changes medical practice. The strongest evidence comes from multiple, well-designed studies, expert review, and consistent finding over time. Scientific trust depends on accurate reporting, transparency, and maintaining the integrity of medical research. As always, stay informed, Keep asking questions and be an active partner in your healthcare decisions. I'm Vic Senese. Thanks for joining us on UroNurse News. This Saturday on UroPatient, what's a neobladder? Facing bladder removal surgery can bring up many questions. How will I urinate after my bladder is removed? Will I need a urine bag? Is there another option? This Saturday on UroPatient, I'll explain one of the most fascinating advances in urologic surgery, the neobladder. Learn how surgeons can create a new bladder using a section of the patient's own intestine, who may be a candidate, how it works, and what life is like after surgery. So be sure to check this out Saturday, 10:30 a.m. I'll be there. Tomorrow on UroNurse News, can something smaller than a grain of rice produce one of the longest sperm cells in the animal kingdom? The answer may just surprise you. Join me as I explore the incredible science behind why fruit fly sperm is so enormous, what researchers have discovered about evolution and reproduction, and why this unusual finding could help us better understand fertility across species. Don't miss this fascinating look at one of nature's most unexpected biological mysteries. Tune in tomorrow.
UroNurse News every weekday at 9 a.m. Central Time, bringing you the news that shines. UroNurse News.